Hello, I'm Stanley Pranin of Aikido Journal. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about what I call the Zone Theory of Aikido. I'll be assisted by one of my students, Gil. And what I'd like to explain is the logic behind understanding Aikido positioning for techniques according to zones. I think you may find it a useful way of looking at things to do and things to avoid when applying Aikido techniques. So let me have Gil come up here and stand, first of all, a natural stance. Okay, this is Shizentai in Japanese, natural stance. Okay, so Gil, let's have you extend your arms in front of you here. Okay, now bring your arms out to the side, not to 180 degrees, but a little bit shy of that. This, I suppose, maybe 170 degrees, 160 degrees, etc. So if we look at here, we can see that if I stand or approach him from this area, he can reach me easily. If he knows how to kick, he could kick me. If I get too close, he could use his head, he could grasp me, he could go into a judo type throw. In short, this is a safe, strong area for him and a dangerous area for me to be in. Okay? Now, let's look what happens if we explore other areas of his space. Now, if we come over here, the first thing I want you to notice is that somewhere along here, I go out of his peripheral vision. Here, I'm probably blurry, but when I step over here, at some point, right about here, he'll completely lose sight of me. Notice what else happens. If I can get over into this area here, to his flank and behind him, with very light movements of my hands and body, I can take his balance without using physical force. I don't have to use power. Let me show you what I mean. For example, if I take his collar and lightly push on his arm, as we might do in atemi Nage, then I can take his balance easily. If I push here at the base of his hip, it takes just a very soft movement to take his balance. Of course, if I come here and push his knee, he goes off balance immediately. With just a light touch of the head, he goes off balance immediately. I could do something like this and pull him straight backward without using a lot of force. I'll just push his hips in and pull the collar out very lightly. It's a simple matter to take his balance. Let's go ahead and look at this from the hanmi position. You know, hanmi is the stance in Japanese. Okay, the shape of Gil's zone of influence here changes a little because of the triangularity, the wedge form of his position. But likewise, if I come into here, this is going to be a dangerous area for me because he can attack me very easily, very little effort, and he can follow me, he can track me very easily. I'm right in front of him. Okay? As I showed you before from the Shizentai, the natural stance, here it works exactly the same way. A very light touch here can take his balance, working the hip, working the hip, working the back of the knee, working the head, pushing the back here. Very light touch will do the job. Okay? Here's his zone of influence. Here's his dead zone, the weak zone. It's a safe place for me to be. Okay, so this is basically my thought about the spatiality of techniques. There is one other thing that I want to explain, sorry. There will be circumstances where I cannot come over here. Maybe there's a wall here, maybe there's somebody else there that I have to pay attention to, so I'm forced to go over into his danger zone. I cannot behave in the same way that I could over here where I have safety. I'm going to have to do something to equalize the situation. So if Gil comes in here and I come and attempt to grab his hand here, I am at risk because he can reach me here, he can kick me. Okay, the reason he can do this is he can see me clearly, and also I have not taken his balance. So my first job is to get off the attacking line, but also to take his balance. Would you move back just a little bit, please? Okay, go ahead. Hey! Now here I have atemi, I've used the kiai, and here I have a pushing power. Now I've got his balance. So from here it would be possible for me to come over here. Now I'm in his dead zone or my safe zone. And you know, as I showed before, it's very easy to take things from here. I might do something like kotegaishi from here as well. There's any number of techniques. Another irimi nage technique, etc. So there are ways of dealing with being in his danger zone. You have to avail yourself of other tools that we have in Aikido, like the kiai, the combative shout, and atemi, these things like this. Because you must take your partner's balance, but you're working in from a disadvantageous position in that he can see you and reach you, unless you take measures to change those circumstances. So there's a basic introduction to the Zone Theory of Aikido. Thank you. Once again, we would like to remind you that we have a vast amount of resources on Aikido that will greatly benefit you in your Aikido training. So please sign up for our free newsletter. And also share this video on your favorite social media.